Hello and welcome to this Mind Hour session. In this chapter, we are going to study about ratios and proportion. Often we see ratios are used in measurements, sports, and business. In real life, you see ratios used every day. We use ratios to make comparisons between two things. When we express ratios in words, we use the word to. We say the ratio of something to something else. Ratios can be written in several different ways, as a fraction, using the word to, or with a colon. A proportion occurs when two ratios are forced to be equal to each other. This selection will allow you to find a second ratio that is in the same proportion as the first. Since a ratio is made up of two numbers and a proportion compares two ratios, we'll be dealing with four numbers here, two for each ratios. A ratio is a comparison of two numbers. We generally separate the two numbers in the ratio with a colon. Which way you choose will depend on the problem or the situation. Ratio of squares to circles is 3 by 6. Ratio of squares to circle can be said as 3 to 6. Or you can say ratio of squares to circle is 3 colon 6. Let's solve an example problem now. Neha has a bag with 3 video cassettes, 4 marbles, 7 books and 1 orange. What is the ratio of books to marbles? Expressed as a fraction with the numerator equal to the first quantity and the denominator equal to the second, the answer would be 7 by 4. Two ways of writing the ratio are 7 to 4 and 7 colon 4. What is the ratio of video cassettes to the total number of items in the bag? There are 3 video cassettes and the total number of items are 3 plus 4 plus 7 plus 1, which is 15. The answer can be expressed as 3 by 15 or 3 to 15 or 3 colon 15. To compare ratios, we write them as fractions. The ratios are equal if they are equal when written as fractions. Let's solve a problem to understand this more clearly. Are the ratios 3 to 4 and 6 to 8 equal? The ratios are equal if 3 by 4 and 6 by 8 is equal. These are equal if the cross products are equal. That is 3 into 8, that should be equal to 4 into 6. Since both of these products equal to 24, then the answer is yes, the ratios are equal. Remember to be careful, order matters. A ratio of 1:7 is not the same as the ratio of 7:1. We will follow the rules of dividing a quantity in a given ratio to solve different types of problems. 20 apples are distributed between Aaron and Ben in the ratio 2:3. Find how many each get. Aaron and Ben get the apples in the ratio 2:3. That is, if Aaron gets 2 parts, Ben should get 3 parts. In other words, if we make 2 plus 3, that's 5 equal parts, then Aaron should get 2 parts out of these 5 equal parts. That is, Aaron will get 2 by 5 of the total number of apples. That means 2 by 5 of 20, which is 8 apples. Similarly, Ben gets 3 parts out of 5 equal parts. That means Ben gets 12 apples. Let's do another quick example. Divide 120 rupees between David and Jack in the ratio 3:5. Ratio of David's share to Jack's share is 3:5. Sum of the ratio terms is equals to 3 plus 5 is equals to 8. Thus, we can say that David gets 3 parts and Jack gets 5 parts out of every 8 parts. Therefore, David's share is 3 into 120 by 8, which is 45 rupees. And Jack's share is 5 into 120 by 8, which is 75 rupees. Therefore, David will get 45 rupees and Jack will get 75 rupees. So far, we have understood the method of comparing two quantities of the same kind. But there may be the situation when we have to compare more than two quantities, which are in a continued ratio. For example, suppose that 74,000 are to be divided among 3 friends, A, B and C, such that A is to B is equals to 4:5 and B is to C is equals to 3:2. The common quantity in both the ratios is B. To convert these two ratios into a proportional relationship between A, B and C, we simply have to change the two ratios such that the same number represents B in both the ratios. To do that, we simply have to find the LCM of 5 and 3, which are the representations of B in the two given ratios, which are 4:5 and 3:2. Taking the LCM of 3 and 5, we get A is to B is to C as 12 is to 15 is to 10. The sum of ratio will be 12 plus 15 plus 10, which is 37. Therefore, the share of A will be 12 by 37 into 74,000, which is 24,000. Share of B will be 15 by 37 into 74,000, which is 30,000. And share of C will be 7 by 37 into 74,000, which is 20,000.